Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 American League replay. We are on the second game of Friday, June the 19th, 1987, game 449 on the replay. We're at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, where the ballpark is symmetrical. Singles are 1 to 3, home runs 1 to 11. It's the Detroit Tigers taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Tigers won this game real world 5 to 3. And the pitching matchup, Jack Morris against Dave Schmidt. Tigers come to the game 35 and 27. Orioles way back near last place at 25 and 41. I think they are in last place. And it's Dave Schmidt against Jack Morris. We'll get the numbers on Morris at the bottom of the inning. We'll focus more on Schmidt as he is going to be starting the game off pitching. Schmidt, well, first of all, let's get to the Strat-O-Matic computer so I can give you the accurate stats here. Schmidt, 10 and 5, 377 with one save in the actual season. On the replays, 1 and 3 with a 4.66 ERA, no saves. 56 innings pitched, 66 hits, 12 walks, and 26 strikeouts. Dave Schmidt. Schmidt will be facing Lou Whitaker of the Detroit Tigers. Both pitchers are going to have trouble holding runners. +3 is the quotient on both of them. But except for a few people on these teams, most of these players are not probably going to be running. Now, Lou Whitaker would be one of them, but most of them are not. So if you're going to have a +3, these are probably two pretty good teams to have that against. So we'll find out and see what happens. Got our dice, and it is Baltimore Oriole colored dice today, just for the heck of it, just because. And, of course, before we start and throw the first pitch, we have to have the ceremonial first sip, which has become tradition around here. And, yes, that is good coffee. No question about it. Javelia coffee, $10 a bag, well worth it. Well worth it. One of my few luxuries in life, if that's really a luxury the way coffee is now. I think even Maxwell House is up to around $9 a pound. So not really any bargains in coffee anymore. All right, here is Lou Whitaker. He will start us off. Whitaker on the replay is hitting 287. 13 homers, 46 driven in at 265 real world. We're underway from Memorial Stadium. And we were underway until one of the die got stuck in there. Let's try this again. False start, 5-yard penalty. 1-4 for Whitaker. It's a ground ball to Eddie Murray. Easy play for Eddie. Steady Eddie makes the play. 1 down. If the Tigers win this game, they will tie the Yankees for third place. They will catch the Yankees. Yankees are in a free-fall right now without Henderson and Mattingly in the lineup. Here's Bill Madlock, designated hitter. He is hitting 278 on the replay. 2 homers, 6 driven in. He at 279 real world. 1-2, and that's a low max with injury, so there could be a chance that Bill Madlock will have to leave this game. He lined it right to Ray Knight for out number 2, but it is an injury chance. And we go to our injury table. He is the DH, so we can pretty much pick anybody we want to replace him if it's needed. But a 1-6, he will stay in the game. And Madlock fights it off, and he will stay in the game. He will stay in the game. And here is Kirk Gibson. Morning, Kathy. You were right. Similar to what I say about those. I know when I was growing up, my mother used to pack our lunches, and they'd sell these individual potato chip multi-packs. You know, it was like Ruffles or Lay's or whatever they were. I don't know. But the bag looked like a decent size, but when you open it up, it was mostly air. I mean, the chips are way down at the bottom, and what looks like what we were paying for is mostly air. So that's just another topic for another day, I guess. All right, here is Kirk Gibson. He's hitting 341 on the replay, 12 homers, 36 driven in. He at 277 real world. 3-6 for Gipsy, and he's going to strike out. So good start for Dave Schmidt. takes care of the Tigers here in the first. Go to the bottom of the first. Detroit nothing. Baltimore coming to bat, and Jack Morris will be your pitcher. Morris 18-11 with a 3.38 ERA in the real season. On the replay, he is 7-5 with a 3.48 ERA, so pretty close. 101 innings pitched, 74 hits, 25 walks, and 87 strikeouts. So Jack Morris will take the hill, and Mike Young, the designated hitter, will lead us off for the Orioles. He's hitting 228 on the replay, 5/17 driven in. He hit 240 real world. Switch hitter, 4-3, and that's a ground ball right back to Jack Morris. He is an E0, so he can't make an error, but he is a 3, so he has to get to it with a 3. And the only way he doesn't get to this is if it's a 3 or less. So anything 4 or higher, he'll get to this. And he does very easily. I'm not even checking for a rare play because with the bases empty, there are no rare plays in Strat. They're all just stupid. So that's going to take care of Mr. Young. One away, and here's Fred Lynn. Lynn hitting 216 on the replay, 16 homers, 35 driven in. He hit 253 on the real season. 2-8, and that's a ballpark blast for Fred Lynn. 1-11. That's a 9. It is gone. Fred Lynn jumps on Jack Morris fastball. 2-8 is a ballpark blast. 1-11 Memorial Stadium. That's a 9. Home run Fred Lynn gets the Orioles on the board. For Fred Lynn, that is his 17th home run of the replay. Home run number 17. He only had 26 in the real season. I'm sorry, 23 in the real season. This was at bat 223 for him. He's got 396 at bats totals. So he's about 60% of the way through, and he's got 17 home runs now already versus the 16 he had in the replay. 23 in the real world, I should say. This is home run 17, RBI number 36. Orioles lead it 1-0. Here's Cal Ripken. Ripken hitting 257 on the replay. 8 homers, 29 driven in. He at 252 real world. 4-5, and that is a fly to center field. Chet Lemon runs it down, 2 down. And that'll send us to Eddie Murray. Murray at first base is hitting 310 on the replay. 15 homers, 38 driven in. He at 277 real season. 1-2, and that's a strikeout plus. And boy, we rolled that 2 twice, and now we got another injury check. This one on Eddie Murray, and that would be more devastating than the Madlock injury if it turns out that way. Let's roll for the injury once again. Basically needs a 7 or higher to stay in the game. 7 or higher. Oh, he's out of the game on a 7 or higher, or 7 or higher, I should say. 11, Eddie Murray's got to leave. So the Orioles will need a new first baseman. Have to check their bench and see who the best option might be. There's always an option of moving somebody to first base like Ray Knight and putting somebody else at third. Or put Larry Sheets at first base and bring in another outfielder. So there's all kinds of potentials there. Looks like we're going to go to Ken Gerhardt to play left field. And we're going to move Larry Sheets to play first base. So Sheets will move to first base. And coming in here will be Ken Gerhardt to play left field. So Gerhardt will take over for the injured Murray here in the second inning. Orioles do lead 1-0, but they lose Murray. See if I can update the defense here to make it so you have the right defensive ratings. For Mr. Sheets, he is a 4E25. So let's fix this. He is a 4 and an E25 at first base is Mr. Sheets. And Gerhardt in left field is a 2+1 E10. So all we gotta do is put the little 1 in there and he has the same range and error that Murray had at first base, which is kind of neat. So there we go. Now on the computer, I need to make that move before we get going. any further. So Murray is out. Gerhardt is in. And Sheets moved to first. All right, we start at the top of the second. 1-0 Orioles. Hello, Phil. So 2 injury chances in the first inning. One of them got staved off and one of them didn't. Now here's Alan Trammell, leadoff hitter and league's leading hitter in the replay. In the replay, Alan Trammell's hitting .416, which does lead the league in hitting. 15 homers, 53 driven in. He hit 343 real world. Hit a .410, and that is a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Fred Lynn. He's a 3E3. 3E3 for Fred Lynn. 3 and 19 is good. E3 and a 12, probably not going to be a problem. Make sure. E3 and a 12 in center field. Nope. 316, 18 are the only errors. So Fred Lynn will make the catch. And Trammell is retired. One away for catcher Matt Noakes. Noakes on the replay hitting .310, 17 homers, 54 driven in. He hit .289 on the real season. We get a 4-7, and that's a solid single for Matt Noakes. First hit of the game for the Tigers. Belongs to Matt Noakes. He is no threat to run whatsoever. He will not be held. And here's Pat Sheridan. First havoc roll of the game for either side. Nothing happening. Sheridan hitting .255, 3 homers, 17 driven in. He hit .259 real world. 1-4, and that's a ground ball second base A, and we have early on our Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play 4-6-3. Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. Be sure to check them out if you're in the area. Tell them Demo sent you. They'll give you a discount. They are the unofficial sponsor of the channel, but the official sponsor of the Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play of the game, and 4-6-3 is about as tailor-made as they come. Orioles will take it. Tigers don't like it, but we go to the bottom of the second. 1-0, still the score based on the Fred Lynn homer. And here's Jim Dwyer. Jimmy Dwyer, positioned in right field for this game. Dwyer hitting .294, 6 homers, 15 driven in. He at .274 world. 2-8 for Dwyer. He's going to strike out, and that's the second strikeout for Jack Morris. Morris is out of there. Here's Ray Knight, third baseman, hitting .243, 9 homers, 29 driven in. He at .256 real world. That's a 4-9, and that's a fly ball to right field for Sheridan. Easy play, 2 down. Morris with a comfortable inning so far. And here's Terry Kennedy, the catcher. Kennedy hitting .227 on the replay, 13 homers, 31 driven in. He at .250 real world. 2-4, and as a pop-up to Trammell at short. So a very easy 1-2-3 inning for Mr. Morris. And we go to the third. It is still Baltimore 1 and the Tigers nothing from Memorial Stadium. Here on this Tuesday, March 31st, last day of March. I believe tomorrow is April Fool's Day. But in our replay, we're at June 19th, 1987, which was a Friday. So 2 up for the Tigers. It'll be the bottom of the order. Evans, Lemon, and Brookins. Darrell Evans hitting .291 on the replay. 17 homers, 44 driven in. He had .257 in the real season. Well, we got hop and dice, so that doesn't count. My rule is all 3 dice, actually all 4 dice, have to be in the tray flat. Can't have outliers. 1-9 for Evans. He will draw the base on balls. That is the first walk issued by Schmidt. Evans, of course, not much of a threat to run, so he will not be held. And here comes Chet Lemon, center fielder. Lemon struggling in the replay, only hitting .214, 4 homers, 17 driven in. He at .277 in the actual season. 2-2, and that's a ballpark blast for Chet Lemon. 1-11, but that's a 13, and that's the kind of year it's been for Chet Lemon. He does not get that home run. It's just a deep fly to left that Mr. Gerhardt puts away on the warning track, one away. Just got up under it. Here's Tom Brookins, third baseman, hitting 240 on the replay. 4 homers, 19 driven in. He had 241 real world. 311 for Brookins. That's a ballpark single. It's only a 1-3, so that will be a line out to short. Out number 2, and flip the order over to Whitaker. Whitaker grounded out to Murray his first time up. Can't do that now because Murray's out of the game with injury. So if he grounds to first now, it'll be Larry Sheets taking it. 4-6, but he's not going to ground to anybody. It's a 1-8 double. 14 will be a single, 2-star single. And that'll put runners on the corners with 2 outs. And now our first clutch situation coming up. And it will be for Bill Madlock, who was almost injured in the first inning. But before that happens, Lou Whitaker is going to look to get a lead because stealing is tempting with that +3 catcher hold rating. Needs a 4 or 5, doesn't get it, so he'll hold. And now Madlock stepping in the clutch. Madlock in the clutch gains some hits here. 1-9 and 111 are turning into hits. It's a 4-9, not a 1-9. 4-9's a ground ball to second. Handled by Burleson, and that's going to do it for the Tigers. They leave runners in scoring position and come away empty-handed. Go to the bottom of the third. Still 1-0 O's. Tigers, of course, won the game real world 5-3. Morris back out. Morris will be facing Sheets, Burleson, and Young here in the bottom of the third. And Kathy says we have a question at the top of the next inning, so be on the lookout for that. Sheets hitting 304 on the replay. 10 homers, 22 driven in. He at 316 real world. 4-8, and that's a strikeout from Morris. That's his third. 1 down, and here's Rick Burleson. Burleson hitting 213 on the replay. No homers, 5 driven in. He at 209 real world. 3-2, and that's a fly to center field. Lemon runs it down, no issues. 2 up, 2 down, back to the top of the order for Young. He grounded back to Morris his first time up. Hello, Dan. Good morning to you. Hope all is well on your Tuesday. Young, 6-4. And that's an in-home run chance straight up against Jack Morris, and that is gone. Morris gives up the long ball again. This one to Mike Young. For Young, that is his 6th home run of the replay. He had 16 overall on the real season. Home run number 6, RBI number 18, and the Orioles lead it 2-0. Look at it again, 6-4. It's a straight-up in-home run. There is no D20 needed, and Young has the normal power. So here is Fred Lynn, who homered off of Morris his first time up. 211, and that, oh boy, 210 would have been another home run, but 211's a pop to short. Just that close to going out of town again. But the home run from Mike Young has given the Orioles a 2-0 lead after 3. And now if you direct your attention to the chat area, Kathy has a trivia question to get our brains going here in the top, before the top of the 4th. While Schmidt does his warm-up tosses, and I drink a sip of coffee. Which team was the first to have 3 players hit 40 or more home runs in a season? I think I know the answer to that, but I'll let the chat. I think it was a down south thing, but I could be wrong. Kathy, maybe the part B of that question could be name the 3 players. That could be a ancillary to the trivia. So I think I've got the 3 players as well. So assuming I have the question right to begin with. But I'll give people a chance first before I chime in, or else I'll just chime in later. While I drink another sip of coffee, gives me an excuse to drink another sip of coffee before we start the top of the fourth. I get bonus points, huh? Okay. Well, since nobody's chiming in, why don't we say the 1973 Atlanta Braves and use Darrell Evans, Davey Johnson, and Hank Aaron? How's that? All right, here is Mr. Gibson. 2-8, struck him out. Second time Gibson's gone down on strikes. So I got the bonus as well. Huh? Okay. I remember that was the one outlier where Dave Johnson never hit home runs, but he hit 40 that year in 1973. I remember that. I don't remember much else about 73, but I do remember hearing that fact. All right, here is Alan Trammell. 3-3 for Trammell. He's going to line it to Ray Knight for out number 2. Dave Schmidt pitching pretty well against this tough Tiger lineup thus far, but there's still a lot of baseball left to be played. Here's Noakes, 110, and that's a ballpark blast for Noakes, 1-11. That's gone. Matt Noakes takes advantage of Memorial Stadium right there. A 110 is a ballpark blast. 1-11, double dies of 4. Home run, Matt Noakes. Catcher Matt Noakes. His 18th home run of the replay. He had 32 real world. Cuts the lead in half to 2-1. That is the 55th RBI for Matt Noakes as well. All right, here is Pat Sheridan. Getting to a double play his first time up. 3-12 for Sheridan. He's going to draw the base on balls. Second walk issued by Schmidt to go with 2 strikeouts. Sheridan has a chance to get a lead, and with that +3 pitcher hold, that's pretty tempting. So he's going to try for it. That's a 7. He gets the lead, so he's going to go 15 being held as a 13, but the +3 is a 16. 1-16, he steals it. And he's in there. Oh, right on the number. Look at that. Right on the number. Thank goodness for the +3 hold. That's the only reason he tried it, because of the +3. So Pat Sheridan steals second base. Gets into scoring position with 2 outs, which could be huge for Darrell Evans. Let's look at Sheridan's stolen base prowess in the real world versus the replay. Sheridan stole 18 bases in the real season, got caught 13 times, which is why he gets caught stealing automatically on 11 and 12, because he got caught 13 times real world. This was his 6th steal. He's only been caught twice. But if you don't try, you're not going to get that caught. You're not going to capture those caught stealings if you don't try. All right, here's Darrell Evans in a clutch situation. Evans will gain a couple of hits, 1-6 and 110. It's a 2-6, not a 1-6, and a 2-6 is a ground ball to second, and that will end the inning. But the home run from Matt Noakes cuts the lead in half. It's now Orioles 2, Tigers 1. As we go to the bottom of the fourth, Morris will face Ripken, Gerhardt, and Dwyer. Ripken, Gerhardt, and Dwyer. As those that came in late, Eddie Murray was injured on a strikeout plus injury check, so had to move Sheets from left field to first base and insert Gerhardt into left field. Right now, here is Cal Ripken. 2-8, and that's a strikeout for Mr. Morris, his 4th. And now the first at bat for Ken Gerhardt. Gerhardt hitting .232 on the replay, 8 homers, and 20 driven in. He hit .243 real world. That's a 4-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. Alan Trammell's a 1. We know he's going to get to it. We're just looking at E21. E21 at shortstop. The only errors are 6, 15, and 17. And he avoided that easily, so nice play for Trammell. 2 up, 2 down. And here is Jim Dwyer. 1-6, and that's a home run on a 1-2, but that's an 11, so just a deep fly to right that Sheridan hauls in, and we've got 4 innings in the books. It's a nice tight 2-1 ball game as we go to the 5th here at Memorial Stadium. Schmidt has a fatigue of 6, Morris a fatigue of 8, so Schmidt would be the first one to keep an eye on for fatigue next inning. Right now, Chet Lemon to lead it off. Time for some more coffee. And Dan, I know you play and enjoy Fall Classic a lot. I think you also like Inside Pitch. I'm not sure. What about History Maker? Have you tried that, or have any thoughts on History Maker? Or is it just not your cup of tea? Here's Chet Lemon. 3-5 for Lemon, and that's a home run 1-13, and that is gone. Chet Lemon has just tied this ball game. A 1-13 home run. The double die is a 1, and Chet Lemon comes through to lead off the 5th with a solo homer, his 5th of the replay. He hit 20 real world. RBI number 18 to go along with his 5th home run, and we are now tied up 2 apiece. All 4 runs in the game were solo home runs. There have not been any running on the bases. In fact, we don't even have a base runner make it past second base except for the home. Well, I'm sorry, Evans did make it to third once, but mostly it's been home run city here. But here's Brookins, 111 for Brookins. He will fly to center. All down out there by Fred Lynn. 1 down, and here is Lou Whitaker. Whitaker hit a home run his last time up. 6-7, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Ripken. He's a 2E20. 2 and a 2, that's trouble. 2 and a 2 is going to be a base hit. That's a 16, so that could be trouble as well. He's an E20. E20, there's a 16 there, so it's a single plus an error on Cal Ripken. Adding insult to injury. So Whitaker will single, and he will get to second base on the E6 from Cal Ripken. Whitaker at second with 1 out for Bill Madlock. Madlock 0 for 2. 3-6 for Madlock. Ground ball to short, and that will freeze the runner with the ground ball A. That will keep Whitaker at second base. This time Ripken is able to make the play. And now Kirk Gibson is up in a clutch situation. He has struck out twice. Hello, bald guy. He has struck out twice, so he's 0 for 2. Could say he's due, though. In a clutch situation against right-handed pitching, he will lose a hit on a 112. So Gibson, you're not going to walk Gibson intentionally because you got Trammell sitting right behind him, so you're going to have to face Gibson. There's no pitching around him. Schmidt has got him twice, though. 4-9. Won't get him this time. That's a single 2 stars, and the Tigers have taken the lead. That might be an unearned run, depending on what else happens in the inning, but right now it's unearned. RBI single from Kirk Gibson has given the Tigers a 3-2 lead, and now Gibson's looking to, speaking of leads, looking to get a lead to get a steal, 5 or a 6. Doesn't get the lead he holds, and here comes Trammell. Trammell is 0 for 2 as well, but he is the league's leading hitter, still hitting .412. 4-11, that's a fly ball right field X. We're looking at Dwyer, 3E1. You play season ticket a lot. Okay. All right, we've got a 5-9 for I'm sorry, we're looking at the we were looking at defensive 3 and a 3. That might be trouble for Dwyer. 3 and a 3 might not get it. It does not. 3 and a 3 is going to be a double, 2 stars. That's a 14 on E1. That's not going to be a problem, but it's a double. And that'll move Gibson to third base. So Trammell doubles, keeps the pressure on. And now here's Matt Noakes, who homered his last time up. First base is open, but they're going to go ahead and pitch to Noakes because Sheridan's right behind him, just as dangerous. Oh, and of course the guy got stuck in the tower again. There we go. 3-8, and that's a split chance. 1 to 10's a single. That's a 20. He lines it to Burleson to end the inning. So that does end up being an earned run because now that double secures that. So both runs will be earned. But the Tigers now take a 3-2 lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th here in Baltimore. Tigers with the victory can tie the Yankees for third place in the division as they look up at both Milwaukee and Toronto. And tomorrow's game, by the way, will be Milwaukee at Toronto. So up at the Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, that'll be tomorrow morning's game as they battle it out for first place. Oh yeah, if you've got, I mean, I don't have the best vision either, but at least for the moment, I'm okay with the card size. But yeah, I agree. That's one thing I like about Fall Classic is they're very easy to see. Even Strat-O-Matic sometimes, if I'm watching somebody else play on the computer, I mean on YouTube or whatever, even though they got even though Spokane Steve or whoever is playing and they've got the cards here, sometimes it's still hard for me to see the cards, but just because I don't have the best vision in the world. So I definitely hear you on that one. All right, so the Orioles had their work cut out for them. They had a 2-0 lead. They've blown that lead. It's now 3-2. And here's Ray Knight. 212 for Knight, and he's got a chance to be injured. Strikeout plus injury. Boy, the injury bug just going all over the place. We'll see if he can stay in the game. He needs a 6 or less to stay in the game. He does stay in the game, so he will not be injured. Although his pride might be injured from striking out. All right, here is Terry Kennedy. 210 for Kennedy. He's going to ground it right back to Morris, out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for Larry Sheets, now playing first base. 2-8, and that's a ground ball to Trammell. 1, 2, 3 in. Look at that, 7 in a row now retired by Morris. He's kicking into high gear. Orioles may find it hard going the rest of the way. We go to the 6th inning. It is Tigers 3, Orioles 2. Remember, Detroit won the real game 5-3, so we're kind of on a pace for that right now. This is the fatigue inning for Dave Schmidt. Number 6 there is his fatigue inning. So keep an eye on that. Let's see if I need to back this up just a hair. Let me find out here. Let's do that so the things aren't going off the page on me. Well, cool, Dan. I'm glad I'm able to, between myself and Spokane Steve, I think we're the only two really that are doing strat cards and dice, at least on a consistent basis. They got me in the morning, him in the afternoon. So, and nobody does strat better than Spokane Steve. He's the par excellence on that, in my opinion. Here's Sheridan. 3-5, and that is a single for Sheridan. Base hit. Base hit for Sheridan. And he stole a base. His last time he stole a base, he's going to try again. It's an 11, and he gets caught stealing. Picked off, caught stealing, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, if you don't try those, you're never going to match his caught stealing statistics. Some people, most time I call it pick off. I'll just call it caught stealing this time. So he's caught stealing. So that wipes him off the base paths, and now we've got Darrell Evans. 5-9, and that's a ground ball to second. Burleson makes the play 2 down. And that'll send up Chet Lemon. He homered his last time up. 4-9, and that's a ground ball to second again. Same roll came up twice, so there we go. So Schmidt will keep some endurance into the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 6th, with the score still 3-2. And Kathy has a question at the top of the 7th when we get there. Right now, bottom of the 6th, we're looking at Burleson, Young, and Lynn. And my house rule is we can't pinch hit for anybody before the 7th inning unless there is a pitching change. So Burleson will have to hit, even though I'd love to pinch hit for him right now. If this was the 7th inning, I'd be pinch hitting for him. But he's going to have to hit. 3-8, and he draws a walk. How about that? Coaxes a walk out of Mr. Morris, and that's the first walk of the game for Morris. So Burleson is aboard. Brings up Mike Young. Young homered his last time up. 4-4, and that's a ground ball third base X. We're looking at Brookins. He's a 3-21 for Mr. Brookins. 3-14. This could be a double play potentially. 3-14 is a G2. He missed the G1 by 1 number, so it will be a fielder's choice, assuming there's no error. There's an 8 there. E21. There's no 8, but it will be a G2 fielder's choice. So they get the lead runner Burleson at second base, and Young will reach on the fielder's choice. So just couldn't quite turn that double play, but they do get the lead runner. Mike Young is aboard, and he's going to look to run, or at least get the lead, because, again, that +3 from Morris is awful tempting. Needs a 6 through 8, and he gets it, but that's a 1, which means he could be picked off. His get-back number is 10. He needs a 1 to 10 to get back safely, and he doesn't. He's caught stealing or picked off. I'm going to call him picked off this time. I think I'll call it pick off when it's his get back number, and call it a caught stealing when it's to the right of the slash. Not that it matters, but he is picked off trying to get the lead, so Morris gets him. But again, if you don't try, you're not going to match these numbers that they had in the replay or in the real season. If you look at Mike Young's stolen base numbers, he stole 10 bases, got caught 7 times. Well, how am I ever going to get the 7 caught stealings if I never try? In the replay so far, he stole 1 base without being caught. So he's had 17 attempts in the real season, and right now he's had 1. This was attempt number 2, so now he's 50-50, 1 for 1, or 1 for 2, I should say. So for those who say, hey, you shouldn't have done that or whatever, well, I'm trying to match what they did in real world. Because we don't have that they didn't have that information back then. We know ahead of time what's happening, but I'm trying to play it as if it's happening right now. All right, here's Fred Lynn. 2 outs, base is clear. 4-9, and that's a line out right to the first baseman, Darrell Evans. And that will end the inning. So at the end of 6 innings, it is Detroit 3 and the Orioles 2. And if you would turn your attention to the chat area, Kathy will have a trivia question. I will bow out of this one and give you guys a chance to chime in since I answered the first one. And there will be a 7th inning stretch at the bottom of the 7th because my coffee's getting cooler. I need to warm it up. All right. In 1968, he had the lowest league batting average to win a batting title ever. I know the answer to that one too, but I will keep quiet. I will keep quiet on that one. Is it bonus points if you get the actual batting average? I believe Action has it correct. I want to say it was like 301 or something like that, but Was it 301, Kath? For some reason, 301 is sticking in my head as the average, but I could, I'm not sure 100%. .301. Okay, cool. Boy, my memory's not as bad as I thought it was. Sometimes you think your memory's gone all the way. Of course, I have a habit of remembering useless knowledge and not being able to remember important things. So take that with a grain of salt, I guess. All right, top of the seventh. And again, there will be a seventh inning stretch break after the half inning. Dave Schmidt's still back out there. He's got some endurance remaining. It'll be Tom Brookins. Tom Brookins to lead it off. 6-5 against Schmidt is a pop out to second base. So we'll pop it up to Burleson. One away. And that will send up Lou Whitaker. Lou Whitaker. 5-8 for Whitaker. Struck him out. There's a dot there, but he has not reached full fatigue yet. So the strikeout is going to be good. Only his third of the game. Out number 2, and it brings up Bill Matlock. He's 0 for 3. Pretty good hitter to be 0 for 3. 2-2, and as a pop out to second base to end the inning. So Schmidt will keep endurance into the 8th inning, as it turns out. We got a good one going here, 3-2 Tigers, as we head to the 7th inning stretch. And like I said, I will be taking that stretch break. As you can see, my coffee is pretty much empty, and it's gotten cold. So we're going to refresh. I am behind. Usually I have 2 cups of coffee before I come up here. And what I'm drinking here is my 3rd cup, but actually this is only my 2nd cup. So my 3rd cup I will start at 7th inning stretch. So 3-2 Orioles trail it. And now we'll get everybody ready for take me out to the ball game. While I go refresh my coffee, Jack Morris will be faced. When we come back, we'll face Ripken, Gerhardt, and Dwyer. And then we'll conclude this ball game. Tomorrow again, Milwaukee and Toronto from Toronto. That'll be the game tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to get my coffee, and we're going to have Take Me Out to the ball game. All right, we are back and ready to go for the remainder of this ball game. Leading off will be Cal Ripken. And, of course, the other important factor is the coffee has been refreshed. Southern Butter Pecan, the creamer of choice today. And that is good coffee. It's hot, too. I got to let it cool down a little bit. All right, here's Cal Ripken. Ripken, Gerhardt, and Dwyer, the batters. 4-7. Ground ball shortstop X. We know Trammell's going to get to it with a 1. E21, the only errors are 6, 15, and 17. And 13 is no problem. So Trammell will make the play. One shortstop grounding to the other. One away, and that brings up Ken Gerhardt. Gerhardt, since coming in for Murray, grounded to short his first time up. 1-5, he's going to ground it to short again. So they keep Trammell busy. 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring up Jim Dwyer. There is action in the Oriole bullpen, just in case Schmidt should falter. Here is Dwyer. 3-7 for Dwyer, and that is going to be a base on balls. So walk to Dwyer, only the second walk issued by Mr. Morris, and Dwyer is no threat to run. And that'll bring up Ray Knight. Knight is 0 for 2. .310 for Knight, and he's going to fly it to center field, and that's going to end the inning. So we played 7 here at Memorial Stadium. The score still Tigers 3 and the Orioles 2. Hello, Dr. D. Good to see you. So let's look at the bullpen for the Orioles. Find out who they've got available. I know Luis De Leon pitched a couple of innings in the last game, so he's unavailable. But it looks like Mark Williamson is tossing in the bullpen. Mark Williamson. But they're going to keep with Schmidt for now, but Williamson is loosening just in case. We start the top of the 8th. It'll be Gibson, Trammell. Gibson, Trammell, and Noakes, your scheduled hitters, here in the top of the 8th of a 3-2 game. And since we're getting cut off on the cards there, I'll back it up one more notch. So we can see the outside columns here. All right, so Gibby stepping in. Gibby is 1 for 3. 312 for Gibby, and that's a Lomax plus injury. Wow, how many injury chances can we get? We rolled a lot of 2s and 12s, obviously. So Lomax plus injury. He's going to line it right to Burleson. But now we need to check for an injury. A 1-6, he can stay in the game. 7 or higher, he's got to come out. He stays in the game. Boy, Gibson fighting it off. He will stay in there. And now Trammell, your batter. Trammell had a RBI double. Not an RBI double. He had a double his last time up. It was not an RBI double. 6-9 for Schmidt, and that's a line out to Ripken at short. So 2 hard hit balls, but 2 hard hit outs. And here is Matt Noakes. He homered back in the 4th. 1-8, and this time he's going to ground it to Ripken at short. So Schmidt keeps a very pedestrian. He goes a very pedestrian 8 innings. I think we'll cap him at 8 innings because that's, to be realistic, I don't think he's going to pitch many complete games. So he's going to go 8 innings is Mr. Schmidt. And we'll get his numbers on the game from the Strat computer. Finish out his line score. Morris, of course, this will be his fatigue inning coming up. And he'll be facing Kennedy, Sheets, and a pinch hitter for Burleson. So on the game, Schmidt going to go 8 innings, give up 8 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of which were earned. I don't agree with that, Strat. You blew that one, Strat. That's an earned run. I don't know what the hell you were thinking. I don't know how you called that an unearned run. It was a single with an E6 sending him at second base, but the single here scored him, but he would have scored on the double by Trammell anyway. So that's a scoring malfunction on. Oh no, I'm sorry. They did give him the earned runs. My bad. I was looking at the walks were 2. Okay, I misread the thing there. All right, so Strat did do it right. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. All right, we don't want to. As much as we like to trash Strat when they get it wrong, I like to applaud them when they get it right. So they got it right. All right, here's Terry Kennedy. That's a 1-5, and that's a ground ball to Whitaker at second. 1 away. 1 down for Larry Sheets. 3-6 for Sheets, and he's going to hit a fly ball to right field. That is out number 2, and now we need a pinch hitter for Burleson. And we'll see who they've got on the bench for the Orioles. They got Lee Lacy, and they got Alan Wiggins and Rene Gonzalez. So they're going to go with Rene Gonzalez. He's the best they have, I believe, off the bench. Plus, he can stay in the game and play second base on top of it. So Rene Gonzalez. Don't walk away, Rene Gonzalez. Pinch hitting here in the 8th. Second base in the 9th. So Burleson went 0 for 1 with a walk. He will part ways and make way for Rene Gonzalez. On the replay, Gonzalez is hitting .308. No homers, 4 driven in. On the real season, he hit .267 with 1 home run. All right, so Gonzalez, 2 outs, bases cleared. He does have normal power if he can get a ballpark blast or something. 4-6, he strikes out, though. So strikeout number 6 for Jack Morse. And Morris is looking to go the distance. I don't think they want to trust Willie Hernandez or Mike Henneman at the moment. If you've got Jack Morris rolling the way he's rolling, I don't think you take him out. They will have Hernandez in the bullpen, the bottom of the 9th, ready to go. Got to bring Gonzalez in at second base, make the defense whole. And now we're going to bring in, actually will not be Williamson. It's going to be Niedenfjord since it's a close game. They will bring in Niedenfjord, their closer. So it will not be Williamson. They will do a backtrack here and go to Tom Niedenfjord, who they got from the Dodgers for John Shelby earlier in the season. Niedenfjord on the replay, on the real season. Let's do that first. 3-5, 4.99 ERA and 13 saves. On the replay, he is 1-2, 5.84 ERA and 3 saves. 12 innings pitched, 18 hits, 4 walks, and 9 strikeouts. So Tom Niedenfjord. And he's a +2 on the hold. So it'll be Niedenfjord facing Sheridan, Evans, and Lemon. Orioles do not have any lefties in their bullpen to go to. Everybody is right-handed, so there is no option about going to a lefty because just isn't that. They don't have it on the roster. They don't have anybody to go to. So. Oh, if it's talking about point of weakness, the rules say you wait until he gets his 3 base runners. Now, Schmidt did not reach that point yet, but he's also 2 innings past what his range is. I usually like to cap, unless the guy's pitching a shutout, I like to cap I don't want to go 2 innings past, like Jack Morris here. I'd let him go 10 innings, but that's as far as I'm going to go because he has an 8 here. So I take this number and add 2 to it, and that's the max I allow. Unless the guy's pitching a shutout. If he's pitching a shutout, then hey, maybe I'll extend it. But that's kind of, it's, like I said, the beauty of it is you can play the game you want the way you want to play it. So. Hello, world's worst. Good to see you. All right, so top of the ninth we go. Tom Niedenfuhr is your new pitcher. Sheridan, Evans, and Lemon due up for the Tigers. 1-7, and that's a strikeout. So Sheridan down on strikes from Niedenfuhr. One away for Darrell Evans. Evans is 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs to second with a walk. 6-8 to the lefty. Now that's trouble. 1-2 is a triple. That's a 19. So Evans will saunter into second base with a one-out double. That is his 14th double of the season. He had 20 real world. He had no triples real world, so had that result been a triple, I would have changed it to a double anyway to not allow the triple, because there's a reason why Darrell Evans never had any triples, because he's slow as crap. And to be realistic, we're not going to give him a triple. All right, here's Chet Lemon. (2-5), and that's a ground ball to short. That'll freeze Evans at second base. So now there's 2 away. And a clutch situation for Tom Brookins. Could consider pinch hitting for Brookins, but he's a pretty good defender, and you got the lead, so you want to keep the good defense in there. You don't put an inferior third baseman out there. So Brookins, despite being 0 for 3, is going to bat. In the clutch, he actually is bad as well. 2-9 and 2-10, he loses hits. But he might get something off of Niedenfuhr. You never know. Nope, it's off his own card. 2-7, but it's a 1-13 single. That's an 8. So that's a base hit. It's only 1 star, but it keeps the inning going and passes the baton to Lou Whitaker. Brookins is not, with Whitaker coming up, we're not going to, this is one situation where the guy is an hat-trick, and I'm not going to try to steal, because I want to give Whitaker every opportunity to drive the run home. They will hold Brookins on, though. They're going to have to. They'll hold him on. So here's Whitaker. He is 2 for 4. And in a clutch situation for Whitaker, he loses a hit on 2-10, also on 3-9 and 3-10, and on 3-2. So you got 4 hits that are taken away in the clutch. This, however, goes off Niedenfuhr, 5-10. That's an in-home run chance off of Niedenfuhr. It's gone. And that's why you don't try to run with Brookins. You let Whitaker do his thing, and he just cracks a home run. Look at it again, 5-10. That's a direct in-home run shot. No D20 needed. Of course, Whitaker has normal power. So Lou Whitaker caps off a great day with his 3rd hit of the game, and what turns out to be home run number 14 on the replay for him. RBIs 47, 48, and 49, and he's almost got his home run total on the whole season in less than half the at-bats. This is at-bat number 252 for him. He has hit home run number 14. He only had 16 home runs and 604 at-bats, so he's definitely exceeded the home run total. And Niedenfuhr, who's known to give up the gopher ball to guys, especially named Clark and Smith, did it again here to Whitaker. It has blown the game open. Now at 6-2, it's no longer a save situation. Willie Hernandez has sat down, and Jack Moore says, I can handle it from here. Madlock, 5-10. That's a home run chance on a 1-9, but that's a 17, so he'll settle with a double. Madlock doubles. Tigers looking to pile it on. Here's Kirk Gibson. (2-5) for Gibson. Grounds it to second to end the inning, but the 3-run home run from Lou Whitaker. Tigers have used the long ball all game. That is the 3rd home run for the Tigers in this game. And now Jack Morris looking to finish what he started. Niedenfuhr is going to go 1 inning, give up 4 hits and 3 runs. Did get a strikeout, but boy, it's rough stuff there. And now Morris going for the complete game victory. He would improve his record to 8-5 with the win here. He will be facing the top of the order in Mike Young, Fred Lynn, and Cal Ripken. 6-2 Tigers, bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the O's. Tigers won the real game 5-3, so we're not too far from that. 6-5, switch hitter batting left. That's an in home run on a 1, but that's a 10. So just a deep fly to right that Sheridan hauls in, 1 away. For Fred Lynn, who did homer in the first inning. Orioles led this game 2-0. Tigers have scored 6 in a row. 2-2, and that's a fly to center field. Hauled in by Chet Lemon. 2 down, last chance saloon. It's Cal Ripken. He's 0 for 3. Tigers looking to go 36-27 and tie the Yankees for third place. 5-5, and that's a strikeout for Morris, an appropriate way to end the ball game. Finish what he started. Complete game for Jack Morris, and the Tigers win it 6-2 over the Orioles. 6 runs, 12 hits, and no errors for the Tigers. 2 runs, just 2 hits for the Orioles. There are only 2 hits for solo home runs. There were no other hits in the game for the Orioles. The only hits were the 2 home runs. How about that? So we'll go to our box score and get all the totals and get you set for tomorrow's game between the Brewers and the Blue Jays. So the Tigers actually, by percentage points, I believe, have now passed the Yankees because I think they have a better percentage win record. Morris, 9 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs. They were both hits were the home runs. 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Left on base, Tigers left on 6. The Orioles only left 1 runner on base. Jim Dwyer was the only one left on base. You had him picked off here, but nobody else was really getting on base as Morris was taking care of business. Player of the game, you could give it to Lou Whitaker. He was 3 for 5 with a home run and 3 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. Or you can give it to Jack Morris for the complete game. Maybe give him a little bit of both. I don't know. But we go to our standings now with this game added in. And the Tigers actually have surpassed the Yankees. Tigers are 36-27. Yankees are 38-29. They played 4 extra games and gone 2-2. But the Tigers have a win percentage of .571. Yankees of .567. So while they're both 6.5 back in Milwaukee, the Tigers by percentage points have eased ahead of the Yankees. Tigers in real world at this point were 35-28, so they're only 1 game better than what they were real world. It is the Brewers who were 8 games better than what they were in real world. They collapsed in May when Paul Molitor got hurt in real world, but in the replay they survived it. So that's been the key. So we, as Bob Seger once sang, we turn the page, and tomorrow's game will be in Toronto. It'll be John Cerruti. It'll be game number 450 on the replay. It'll be John Cerruti against Teddy Higuera, a couple of left-handers. That'll be tomorrow's game from Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. We'll put the records in here while I'm looking at them. 42-20 for the Brewers, and Toronto is 42-22. And that'll be the game tomorrow. A couple of lefties, Higuera and Cerruti, going at it. And as we look ahead for the Thursday game, this will be Wednesday. April Fool's Day will be this game. On Thursday, we will be in, where did I say we were going to be? We're going to be in Minnesota in the Homer Dome. It'll be the White Sox and the Twins on Thursday, Rich Dotson and Les Straker. And then on Friday, we'll be in sunny Anaheim, California. It'll be the Kansas City Royals taking on the California Angels, or it'll be Texas at Oakland. I haven't decided yet. Charlie Huff and Moose Haas. Might do the Texas-Oakland game instead. Haven't decided yet. The other game to be played offline is Seattle and Cleveland. Mark Langston and Phil Niekro. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all enjoyed that presentation of 1987 Strat-O-Matic. And, of course, Saturday we'll start our Fall Classic 1979 NBC Game of the Week. That will start on this Saturday, where the Phillies will take on the Cardinals from Busch Stadium. That'll be on Fall Classic Baseball. But, Of course, you got your Strat-O-Matic right here. And I'm going to probably bring on another game to play on the channel here shortly as well. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great Tuesday, whatever you have planned for your day. Hope the weather is nice where you are. I know it's going to be in the mid-70s and sunny here, which is nice. The only problem is if I try to go out in the yard now, I've got to watch out for flying insects that bite and sting because they're flying around now. So got to be on the lookout for them. I don't want to have any more yellow jacket wards if I can avoid it. Don't need that stuff. But I do need to clean the yard up so I can get it ready to cut the grass, which we'll probably have to do within about another week or so. As once we get some more, once some of that April rain starts coming. Right now we're covered in pollen though. We got all that yellow stuff out there, so I've got to. Sure, if I go out there and come back an hour later, I'll be covered in yellow. But that's all part of the nature process. So that's going to finish it out from here. Hope you all have a great day. Enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.